Good morning. We want to welcome you this morning to this meeting of the Board of Directors of the Drainage District for today, June 7, 2016. Present are Commissioner Cuellar, Precinct 1, Commissioner Cantu, Precinct 2, Palacios, Precinct 4, and myself. We have a quorum. Please join us in prayer.
Thank you, Judge. Let us pray. Father God, we give you thanks for another great day that you've given us. Thank you for the opportunity to come serve you today, Lord. I ask that you continue to provide wisdom, discernment to this elected body, Lord, the judge and the 4 commissioners that you have placed here to lead our great county, Lord. Continue to bless them. Continue to provide all the guidance that they need to make these decisions that affect us all, Lord. I continue to ask for the same guidance for myself, my staff, all the leaders of the county, Lord, and continue to bless this great county and nation. You see in the Son Jesus' name that I pray. Amen.
Amen. Amen.
Under open forum, Monica, did anyone sign up?
Yes, sir. We have one person.
All right. Mr. Azael Pesina.
Good morning, Judge, Commissioners. I come to you as not a civilian, but as a district employee of the Drainage District. I've been an employee of the district for the past 10 years, and for the past 10 years, I've seen, a lot of things happen in the Drainage District, good and bad, and I come to you with some concerns and some complaints. There's a lot of issues, a lot of things that happen, that go on, and obviously nobody ever hears of them. And I've always wondered, why is it that nobody speaks up regarding them? And I guess you don't know until you actually go through them. And when you try to seek advice or help from, the people that are supposed to help you, things kind of get twisted. The policy book kind of gets manipulated in a certain way where things look correct, or at least the way they're supposed to. And the way it makes you feel is that, your civil rights are violated. And now I see why is it that other employees aren't that eager to go and speak out. Why? Because when they go and seek help or advice, things are turned around and manipulated, and they make them seem like, oh no, this is right, you're wrong, but this is right. And I'm just bringing this up because, like I said, since I've been an employee for the past 10 years, I can say that I'm proud of my job, of where I work. But when things like this happens, when civil rights are violated, I think that it needs to be spoken of. And I'm here in behalf of, I want to say, a lot of employees, that I'm not the only one that has concerns. But since time has been a constraint, there has been given no time for nobody to prepare, nobody to come speak. I made my time to come and bring this forward to you, and I just hope that, somebody can look into this, and something can be done. That's why I'm here this morning. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. All right, our next item is our consent agenda. Any concerns?
Nothing any that I'm aware of, Judge.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Item 5.
Discussion on Dow County Drainage District 1 drainage projects, maintenance, and operation. Just to kind of give an overview, for the past, 14 months, 15 months since I took over, we probably have about 45 plus projects on the board. A lot of those are a combination of in-house design, in-house construction, or designed by engineers. Part of those projects are our bond projects. So we have a lot of work that we're tackling at the district. We also serve a lot of the precincts in the capacity of doing in-house work to get some of these projects moving on the precinct side as well. We do have now 4 staff engineers. 3 of us are licensed engineers. One of them is a graduate engineer. So the district is moving in a different direction. So we do, and I expected some tug and pull on some of the changes that we're doing, but I believe in the long-term goal of the district and what we're looking at, the overview. I think it's going to be better served, or this is going to better serve its people that it provides service for. So sometimes we do get pushback, and we understand that. But believe me, all people all my staff that's there has an opportunity to share their concerns and comments. We try to address them. But at the end of the day, the decision has to be made to move forward with what our vision is and to provide better service to our constituents out there, to do more in-house work and still have a balance to assign work out to engineers and contractors, but to also ourselves provide more in-house design services and construction services. So, the district is growing. I made a presentation last year about the amount of mileage that we currently maintain, about 600 plus miles that we're going to be maintaining, and we're going to continue to grow that. We're still working with irrigation districts on expanding our system. We have various projects that are under construction right now that are GLO projects that are being constructed right now, so that's going to expand our system. And some of those projects were designed in-house by our staff engineers. So there's a lot of demand for that type of work to be done, and that's why I've made the decisions that I've made to look at the needs of the district and assign the proper task and to employees of the district to continue our work at the district. So just having said that, that's just kind of an overview of our operations, what we're doing at the district. And I believe all 5 of you are aware of a lot of the projects that we have ongoing right now, both in-house and outsourced as well. So that's all I really have for today, Judge.
For the record, we've been joined by Commissioner Flores, Precinct 3. Go ahead, sir.
Okay. If I may, sir, item 6. Item 6, requesting exemption for competitive bidding requirements under Texas Local Government Code, Section 262.024A4 for professional service.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Presentation of scoring grid for the purpose of ranking by ICD1 Board of Directors of the firms graded and evaluated to the district's approved pool of surveying firms for the provisions of professional surveying services for RMA outfall projects. Firm names: Quintanilla Hedley Associates with a score 98, Right-of-Way Surveying Services score 95, and Ambiotech Civil Engineers score 93. Which would the board wish to rank them as stated?
Motion approved.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Thank you. Item C, requesting authority for the Drainage District to negotiate a professional agreement for surveying services with the #1 ranked firm of Quintanilla Hedley Associates, Inc., as it relates to surveying services for RMA outfall project.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Item 7, requesting exemption from competitive bidding requirements under Texas Local Government Code, Section 262.024A4 for professional service.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Item B, presentation of scoring grid for the purpose of ranking ACDD1 Board of Directors of the firm graded and evaluated to the district's approved pool of surveying firms for the provision of professional services for the Mercedes Lateral Project. Quintanilla Hedley Associates is scored 98. Seeger, Winston, and Greenwood and Associates scored 97. And Guzman Munoz Engineering Services scored 96. Would the board wish to rank them as stated?
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Item C, requesting authority for Drainage District to negotiate a professional agreement for surveying service with the #1 ranked firm of Quintanilla Hedley Associates as it relates to surveying service for Mercedes Lateral Project.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Thank you. Item 8, requesting approval, work authorization number 10 to La Jolla Watershed Improvement Project Agreement with LNG Engineers in the amount of $37,410.16, subject to House Bill 1295.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Item 9, requesting approval to accept bids and approval to award construction contract to lowest bidder meeting all specified requirements for RFP number ACDD 1-16-026-0601, Tex-Mex drain ditch improvements, road crossings, to RDH Site and Concrete, base bid and alternate one in the total amount of $293,297.46.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Thank you. Item B, pursuant to Texas Local Government Code 262031 and in the interest of expediting project's progress, requesting authority approval for Drainage District General Manager Raul Sassin to execute change orders that involve an increase or decrease in the cost of $50,000 or less, and in no event to exceed the change order statutory limits. The original contract price may not be decreased by 18% or more without the consent of the contractor.
Move for approval.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Thank you. Item 10, requesting approval to reclassify one regular full-time position as follows. Slot number 13, GIS Operator 2. Budget salary is $56,795. Proposed position title, Engineering Tech 4. Proposed budget salary, $56,795.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Thank you. Item 11, today I do not have any closed session items.
Move to adjourn.
Second.
Thank you.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Our meeting is starting at 9:30. It's 9:28. All right, well, good morning. We welcome you to the Hidalgo County Commissioners Court meeting for today, June the 7th, 2016. The entire court being present, we have a quorum. Please join us in our Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Regine? Yes, ma'am.
Dear Father in heaven, we thank you for this day. We come to you. We know you need nothing from us. We know that you can see into our hearts and our minds, and you know that we care the most about each other and Hidalgo County and doing the right thing. We ask you to bless our nation, our state, our county, our families. We ask you to bless all the people who make decisions that is going to impact everybody for so long. We ask this in the name of the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Amen.
Please remain standing. You know, yesterday, June 6, 2016, was the 72nd anniversary of D-Day. On June the 6th, 1944, more than 160,000 Allied troops landed along a 50-mile stretch of heavily fortified French coastline to fight Nazi Germany on the beaches of Normandy. More than 5,000 ships and 13,000 aircraft supported the D-Day invasion, and by day's end, the Allies had gained a foothold in continental Europe. This was the largest amphibious invasion in modern warfare. The cost in lives on D-Day was high. More than 10,000 Allied soldiers were killed, wounded, or missing in action. Their sacrifice led to the liberation of France and the eventual defeat of Nazi Germany and Adolf Hitler. There are 9,387 Americans buried in the Normandy American Cemetery, and the names of 1,557 soldiers are inscribed on tablets in the cemetery's Garden of the Missing. The remains of approximately 14,000 others originally buried in the region were returned home at the request of their families. Most of those soldiers gave their lives during the landing operations. Please join me in a moment of silence as we honor the heroes of Normandy. Thank you. Please be seated. And at this time, are there any concerns with the consent agenda?
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
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 Aye, motion carries. All right, we have item number 5A. It's consideration and approval of a resolution in honor of the McAllen United Angels girls soccer team.
Good morning, Judge, Commissioners.
Thank you, Marty.
Joining me up here is the McAllen United Angels girls soccer team head coach, Abraham Adriano. The resolution reads, whereas the McAllen United Angels is a girls soccer team that competes year-round against top-level private clubs from the Rio Grande Valley, San Antonio, Austin, and Houston, and whereas the United Angels have won 8 championships, recently becoming the 2016 U.S. Youth Soccer President's Cup girls age 14 state champions.
Ladies,
Excuse
good
me.
morning. Good morning and welcome.
And whereas this achievement has advanced the Angels to represent the state with the South Texas Youth Soccer Association at the 2016 Region 3 President's Cup in College Station, Texas, in a tournament that will be held June 14th through the 19th, where they will compete against teams from Alabama, Arkansas, Florida, Georgia, Louisiana, Mississippi, North Carolina, Oklahoma, South Carolina, and Tennessee. And whereas throughout the years the goal is to encourage personal growth, positive attitudes, and strong leadership in all of the players, they're led by a devoted group of parents and head coach Abraham Adriano, as well as assistant coaches David Gonzalez and Mario Campos. And whereas the team is comprised of players, raise your hands, girls, when I call your name, Leila Ariola, Zarehi Campos, Viviana Cruz, Cristina Godinez, Alexa Gonzalez, Cynthia Gutierrez, Georgina Hernandez, Mia Perez, Araceli Ramirez, Stephanie Ramirez, Lileni Sanchez, Andrea Santana, Kaylani Vasquez, and Ashley Segura. Now therefore be it resolved that the Hidalgo County Commissioners Court hereby congratulates the McAllen United Angels Youth girls soccer team for their dedication and wishes them continued success, dated the 7th day of June, 2016.
Motion approved.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye. Aye, motion carries.
Here to say a few words is the head coach.
Good morning, Commissioner.
Good
Good morning,
morning,
Judge,
Coach.
Commissioners. Just want to thank you for this, giving us this opportunity, this recognition. It's an honor for us to be in front of our county officials, and I want to thank our players for their commitment to this soccer. Not only have they excelled in soccer, but academically as well. And I would also like to thank our parents, which are #1 fans, that takes our kids to practice, and sometimes they miss parties and other things for taking our players over to games over the weekends. So I want to thank them as well. And of course, heading over to College Station for regionals, going to compete against these other 10 states. We couldn't do this without the help of our businesses, our local businesses, or communities that have fundraised or help us fundraise money to travel to this. So I want to thank all of them. We do have players from all over the county, from La Jolla, McAllen, Mission, Weslaco. We also have one for our sister county, Cameron. So once again, it's an honor for us, and thank you for giving us this opportunity.
Thank you.
Girls?
Julie, go see Rick Saldana. Tell him I need his notes.
On three. One, two, one more. One, two.
Can the parents take pictures?
Pegó la luz.
If you ladies want to watch yourselves on TV on Thursday, Channel 10 near the PBS station at 8 o'clock. All right, we're going to take an item out of order. Item number 18A.
Yes, Judge, thank you very much. And if I could have Jesse Ozuna join us over here at the mic, as well as we have a special guest, a mentor of Jesse's here with us, our former county judge, Nanette Amidas. I'd like for him to join us as well up here. And as we prepare for the resolution for Jesse Ozuna, we're going to heavily miss Jesse. He is taking on a new endeavor in his life. He'll be moving to the city of Houston, working for the current mayor. And he came and joined us since 2012. He joined us first as a right-of-way agent. He excelled beyond anybody's expectations. He later became our chief of staff. In the last couple of years, he's done some of the most profound progress with respect to order, with respect to need, with respect to any expectation that any precinct could ever expect the chief of staff to do. And today we want to honor him with the resolution, of which Lisbeth's going to read for us. But before we do have a lot of friends in the audience. We do have fellow employees of Precinct 4. Can you stand and just be recognized for a minute? Those that are here to take part in this resolution for Jesse. We also do have Ana Hernandez and Gregory here coming in from Houston. She's a state representative out of Houston. And I do want to say for the record, she's the reason why he's leaving. She'll be joining her in Houston. But without further ado, we'd like to go ahead and read the resolution and bear gifts to Jesse for his great service.
Good morning, Judge, Commissioners. With your permission, I'd like to read the resolution in honor of Jesus M. Ozuna for his dedication to public service to the County of Hidalgo. Whereas Hidalgo County Precinct 4 is honoring Mr. Jesus M. Ozuna for his distinguished public service to the County of Hidalgo since July 16, 2012. And whereas Mr. Ozuna was born on November 26, 1984 and raised in Edinburgh, Texas by the parents of Dionisio and Yolanda Ozuna, Jesus is the youngest of the two siblings. His sister Iveta Alonso married to Roel Alonso and have two children, Valeria and Noah Alonso, along with another blessing on the way. Whereas after graduating in 2003 from Edinburgh North High School, Jesus enrolled at Texas A&M University at College Station, where he earned a Bachelor of Science degree in Agricultural Leadership and Development in 2006. His first position after college graduation was working for Texas Representative Armando Martinez as a legislative aide during the 80th legislative session and later served as the Director of Constituent Services during the 82nd legislative session. Jesus' mission was to help every individual regardless of their walk of life or economic status. And whereas in September 2008, Jesus was a high school social studies teacher for the Edinburgh Consolidated Independent School District, for the next 3 years he molded the minds of her children with not only education, but a respect to moral fiber, discipline, and objectivity, which led his students reaching their full potential. And whereas with his knowledge and experience in 2012, His journey then led him to become a part of Hidalgo County Precinct 4 as a right-of-way agent, where he excelled and was given the opportunity to serve as Chief Administrator in 2015. And whereas with his knowledge and experience as Chief Administrator, Jesus served in the position with respect to order, integrity, and honor while directly managing 150 Precinct 4 employees who worked to enhance all services and embrace the needs of our community. Jesus was also instrumental in working with various department heads and elected officials to assure Hidalgo County was moving forward in the most efficient, progressive, and steadfast manner possible. And whereas Jesus' best practices came in many forms, which made significant contributions in areas that will continue to benefit the residents of Precinct 4 and the County of Hidalgo, Jesus carries a fundamental belief that we are our brothers and sisters' keeper, and that we must do all that we can to improve services and the quality of the life of our residents. And whereas as a member of the Boys and Girls Club Board of Directors, member of the Star Gala Board of Directors, and the Edinburgh Rising Star, to name a few, demonstrate his vision to continuously take part of the future generation's education. And whereas as of July 2016, Jesus will begin a new chapter in his professional passage as a new Assistant Director of Governmental Affairs for Mayor Sylvester Turner for the city of Houston, Texas. Now, therefore be it resolved that the Hidalgo County Commissioners Court hereby supports the resolution.
Second. Those in favor say aye.
Well,
before you begin, Jesse, I think you ought to have that young lady step forward. Ms. Hernandez? Good morning.
Well, this is the reason I'm moving to Hidalgo County. I was just blessed with a job, but I fought my boss on this pretty hard, just because a lot of y'all know that I don't really like the attention.
We love you, Jess.
It definitely is bittersweet. I really do enjoy working for the people of Hidalgo County. I enjoy teaching.
Yes, we want to make sure you understand we really want to wish you well. We really enjoyed the work that you have done here for us. And I know Commissioner Palacios thinks very highly of you, and so does the other members of the court. And I can see why you're going to Houston.
It's actually my boss's fault because, well, Bobby and Sergio were with me when it all started, trying to get...
Is there any way I can make you change your mind and go to Precinct 3?
No, but I just want to thank all of y'all for the continued support, all my colleagues. When I first started here at the county, I was blind. All the right-of-way agents, I saw Victor Gallardo here. I don't know where he's at now, but Victor and Jaime Salinas, they took me under the wing as a young punk kid who didn't really know too much about anything about right-of-way, but I enjoyed it. And I was blessed with the opportunity to come and now lead the precinct, and I couldn't have asked for a better group of people to work with. I've always told them that our titles don't mean anything. It's the desire to work and the desire to help people out, which we do every day. So I want to thank you guys, all the supervisors, my colleagues, former colleagues. Marcus is here, who his shoes were a little tight to fill. My mentor, Renee, he's taught me a lot that I know. He's actually molded me into the professional person that I am today, along with a lot of other people. But he gave me my first hand up right out of college. Friends that I can't even begin to... I see my buddy Moose here, Victor. There's just a bunch of people I can't even, the list is too long, but I really want to thank God for the opportunity because I really am blessed beyond measure. It's just a step forward for me. I really hate to go. I'll miss all y'all, but if you ever need anything in Houston, I'll be there. I'll be down at least once or twice a month. My parents are still here. My family's still here, so just don't call me for work because I won't answer your calls. But I just want the public to know that there's a lot of hardworking people in the county. I know that at times we get slammed and we get dragged through the mud, but people work hard to earn their keep around here. Not all of them, but the majority of them. But I could say, I like to speak bluntly, and a lot of times it gets me in trouble. But that's just the way it is. There's a lot of hardworking people here that really do deserve respect, and that's why I say I don't like accolades. I don't like the limelight. I really fought Joseph hard on this, but he wanted to do what he wanted to do. So I just wanted to thank everybody who's helped me along the way. I'm very appreciative, and to my girlfriend and her son Gregory, they're going to take me in, so hopefully they're ready. And I just want to thank my new boss as well, Mayor Turner, for giving me a chance. I know he hasn't been side by side with me. I've met him in the legislature a couple times, but hopefully I can do the same work for the city of Houston that I did for the county of Hidalgo. So I just want to thank everybody. Thank you.
Jesse. Judge, before we take a picture, on behalf of Precinct 4 and the county, we want to present Jesse with the Distinguished Service Award for all the service that you gave Hidalgo County and Precinct 4. Below the award are 5 coins, silver coins, representing the years of service here with the county and Precinct 4. I want to present you here at this court, and I wanted you to have this as a token of our appreciation for your service. As well as a flag, so you don't forget where you came from.
Thanks.
All right. You said, sir.
Put it in your office when you get to Houston, right?
Right.
That's right.
Y'all set?
I guess. You tell me.
Look pretty.
1, 2, and one more. 1, 2. And now Elizabeth. Is there a glare on your face? 1, 2. Would you like one with the representative?
Absolutely.
I would.
Just don't block the commissioner.
Resolution?
Over here first.
Everybody can sit down. I'm not that important.
Okay, ready on 3. 1, 2. One more. 1, 2.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Good to see you.
We want to acknowledge the presence of former County Judge Rene Ramirez. Our next item, along the lines of hardworking county employees, May 31st, we had a severe weather event here in our county, and we wanted to acknowledge the efforts of the various county departments and various agencies and organizations that all got actively involved in assisting the affected areas, which were our communities, small communities of Granjeno, Hidalgo, Madero, Palmview, and Pharr. Chief, would you We have our Emergency Management Coordinator, Chief Rick Saldaña.
First,
I asked him to make a list of all of the different departments that were involved in the effort of helping out in the community.
as you all know, on May 31st in the wee hours of that day into the June the 1st, we were impacted by significant
Go ahead, Chief.
by a significant weather event, which was a straight wind event that struck the area of Madero, Granjeno, Ansel Duas Park, and Hidalgo, the most impacted, with over 100 homes that were damaged in either severe to the extreme of destroyed. The security shack at Ansel Duas Park was totally destroyed. The beautiful trees at Ansel Duas Park were damaged severely. The city of Granjeno, their community center, was totally destroyed. Several homes in Granjeno were destroyed. Madero took a significant impact of homes that were destroyed and damaged. Chimney RV Park, at least half of the RVs in that facility were destroyed by the straight line winds that went through there. We had a tremendous response from all these agencies. I'd like to thank Commissioner Joe Flores in Precinct 3 for the immediate response to assist the city of Granjeno and Mayor Cabrera there with their residents. They played a tremendous impact. But the key to all of this was the unified effort between all these county agencies to come together to be able to serve the citizens of Hidalgo County. In the city of Hidalgo, Precinct 2, you went in there and assisted the mayor and the city manager there with their assistance. They had over $1 million damage to the Dodge Arena or State Farm Arena. Then they had an apartment complex that was damaged. The one lady did get minor hurt, but they had to condemn the apartment complex about a quarter mile south of the Dodge Arena. But it was a tremendous effort by all these agencies to respond. There were over 250 light poles that were knocked down from the expressway in Mission all the way into Granjeno. And those AEP, Magic Valley, and their subcontractors, it took them 3 days to be able to bring power supplies back to the Madero, and late Friday into Granjeno. But they did a diligent effort to make that happen, to bring those people back to place. I just want to read a quick list of those agencies involved. Hidalgo County Precinct 1, Precinct 2, Precinct 3, Precinct 4, Commissioner Cuellar, Commissioner Cantu, Commissioner Flores, Commissioner Palacios, thank you. Eddie Olivares from Hidalgo County Health Department, Fire Marshal Garza from the Marshal's Office, Drainage District Director. They provided help. The Sheriff, Precinct 3, Community Service Agency, they went in there and they brought in some help for the families there to support them. Our office, the Hidalgo County Emergency Management and Public Affairs. City of Mission Public Works, after Precinct 3 went and put all the brush from the debris from the effects of Granjeno, the brush pickup was being done by the City of Mission. The Police Department, Mission CISD for supporting the shelter and providing food. Hidalgo ISD for supporting with volunteers to assist the citizens of Granjeno. City of McAllen Public Works providing a generator to us to be able to get the City Hall going. And they're going to go in and clean up after the storm drains after the crews from Precinct 3 finish cleaning up, and those other precincts that are assisting. Texas Department of Public Safety, U.S. Border Patrol, Hidalgo County EMS, Salvation Army for food assistance, American Red Cross Shelter and a food assistant, Texas Baptist Men Chainsaw Groups, HEB, Sam's Club, AP, Magic Valley, the private contractors, local residents. They helped bring heavy equipment to help the other crews remove some of that debris, and the private citizens and business of Hidalgo County that contributed to the efforts for these citizens that were impacted in the Madero, Hidalgo, Granjeno, Palmview, Hidalgo area. This was a unified effort, as we have always done. We've always banded together to provide the best quality service and protection for the citizens of Hidalgo County. And I'd like to thank all of those. Sheriff Guerra, your staff was awesome. Constable Larry Gallardo band together with you to protect those citizens, along with your partners from Texas Department of Public Safety and U.S. Border Patrol, since they didn't have any power for those 3 days, they all unified together to make sure the public protection was there during the event in the evenings. It was an awesome response, and I want to thank you in behalf of Judge Garcia and my office for your support and the unified effort and the team that we are. Thank you.
Please, thank you.
Commissioner Palacios, I'd just like to add one thing. You might have lost Jesse, but he gained a lot of experience from last year, and he's going to a city that gets impacted severely with what we went through this last year, but he's going with some experience.
Oh, yeah. Thank you, Chief.
Sheriff, is there a particular item that you are here on? Yeah.
I believe Mr. Olivares has some meetings to prepare for tomorrow's meeting.
What item number?
Judge, while we're on emergency management on 12A, do we need to take action on the continuance of the emergency declaration? I believe it's 12A. There's. Yes?
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. All right. What's the item number?
Sir, I have item 11G, I think. 11A, B, C, D. There, I'm sorry. It said I have a meeting with the university on some funding that we're looking at forward to.
Go ahead, Eddie.
Okay. Very quickly, sir, item 11A is requesting approval to city managers related letter for the Zika prevention. Tomorrow there is an actual special workshop being called and meeting being called to invite the mayors and city officials to give them an update on the Zika situation and start preparing in the event that this becomes a major issue, because when it does get here, and it will get here, it's going to be very emotionally traumatic to be able to deal with, especially if it impacts some of our young mothers or mothers who may be infected by this virus. So we really need to get everybody informed and updated on how to deal with this in the best possible direction. And thanks to Judge Garcia and his office staff in reviewing, the best direction was to have this educational workshop for these elected officials to bring them up to date so they could prepare in the event that they need to step up their game in dealing with this issue. So, sir, I think you have a copy of the letter. Each of the members have a copy of the letter to that it's going to be subject for your all's approval to submit to the different cities in our community.
Move for approval.
Second. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
And just to thank you all, because that is a major step forward in showing initiative before we have a major problem, that this demonstrates good leadership on our part, sir. Item B, sir, is item B, sir, I'm going to table for this week. This is not an issue. There's a procedure that we needed to, a piece of paper and a form we needed to get approved, so we're going to table it with your permission.
No action.
It would be a no action.
No action? Very good, Mr. Guerra. Thank you. No action on it. Thank you. Item C is requesting approval to allow Hidalgo County Health and Human Services Department, in partnership with Hidalgo County Emergency Management staff, to host and provide training for the local amateur radio. The field day exercise will be held on June 25th, and with your permission, it would be held at the Emergency Operations Center on Saturday the 25th, and that'll be a day-long exercise on practicing communication with ham radios.
Move for approval.
Second. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Item D, sir, is requested approval to renew for a period of 1 year the memorandum of agreement between Texas A&M University and Texas A&M University Health Science Center for on-site educational program. We have their Masters in Public Health students that do their practicum sites with us at our facility. In fact, I'm proud to announce that over the last several years, we've actually hired 6 of their MPHs over the years, and they actually provide a good training and resource for us in the future.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Next item E, I'd like to call up Lourdes Acevedo, part of our Human Services team, to present the award for Walk Across Texas Challenge number 9 very quickly. So, Lulu. And Lulu, go ahead and introduce who the team is.
Good morning, Commissioner Judge. We are presenting the Walk Across Texas Challenge for this last 8 weeks that just finished a couple of weeks ago. We had 26 teams participate from different county departments. We walked a total of 33,850 miles combined for the 26 teams. The winner of this go-around of the Walk Across Texas Challenge is the team by the name of Office Pace. They come out of the Hidalgo County Clerk Arturo Guajardo's office. Their total combined distance as a team was 3,433.57 miles. We want to thank them, and we want to congratulate all the participants for Walk Across Texas. Mr. Guajardo?
Thank you.
Don't recognize me. This is the group that all we do is inspire a steady pace at the office, and obviously reflected on their personal time as well. So I just want to congratulate them for getting after it out there. You guys want to say anything? Tired of walking?
Say something.
My name is Danny Gonzalez. I was the team captain for Office Pace, and I'll take full credit for the name. This team just came together because we wanted to really participate in this initiative by Hidalgo Fit and the health department, because we like the opportunity to get healthier. And this team comprises of a lot of different people. We got retired military, moms, avid walkers, runners, cyclists, dancers, and me. That's it. So it was fun. We set a minimum goal of 5 miles per day, a minimum goal of 5 miles. I would like to say that we exceeded that exponentially. They did. I was minimum most of the time. But yeah, that's it, pretty much. Thank you.
Awesome.
Congratulations.
Can we get a photo, sir?
Yes.
While they're preparing, it's important to bring up the fact that the whole purpose of Hidalgo Fit was that we're trying to decrease utilization costs in our insurance by encouraging our employees to be healthier and more fit, and actually looking at decreasing our utilization costs. And this is an example of how our employees are working together to benefit the residents of Hidalgo County by decreasing utilization costs on our insurance by providing different health programs to help make them healthier and more fit. So congratulations to them. Thank you, Mr. Guajardo. Thank you very much.
Congrats, guys. Good job, man.
Keep on walking. Keep on walking. Keep on
Good job,
walking.
man. Good job.
Dale, te felicito. You gotta grab this guy and make him walk with you.
Congratulations. Congratulations.
Congratulations. The next item, sir, with your permission, is item 11F. It's requesting approval to accept the CPS OT Unique Grant Contract Amendment 2016-004045-01. The purpose of the amendments to amend a certain contractual language and to revise the budget. And it's item 2 within the same thing. I could read it all together. It's requesting approval of certification of revenue in the amount of $2,500. And number 3 is approval of the budget appropriations. So we need an action for 1, 2, and 3.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Under G, Healthcare Funding District, there is no action there unless there's any questions. Items H is Hidalgo County Indigent Health Care Program. Item 1, there's no action unless there's questions. We'll move on to item 2, and we have Mr. Carlos Zaffarini to discuss a discussion, to review a new concept and model to look at helping deal with uncompensated care in Hidalgo County. Mr. Zaffarini?
Good morning, Commissioners, Judge.
Morning,
Carlos Zaffarini, on behalf of really not just Hidalgo Clinical Services today, but also the entire border safety net, South Texas border safety.
Can you pick up the mic a little bit? There you go.
Were you able to hear me, or you need me to restate?
Yes.
Is that better? Okay. Good morning, Judge and Commissioners. Carlos Zaffarini on behalf of not just Hidalgo Clinical Services, but also on behalf of the other safety net providers in the South Texas border safety net region. Recently, we had a rule change at the federal level that provided for a new opportunity for safety net hospitals to access a new kind of supplemental payments. Those supplemental payments would require collaboration, not just with the local safety net providers, but those providers in Webb, in Cameron, in Maverick, and I guess there aren't any in Willacy, but they're the entire what we call managed care service area. That's defined by the Health and Human Services Commission, the state agency. It would be, what we are looking to do is coordinate amongst all of the counties that have the local provider participation funds, the LPPFs, and see if we can find a way to access these new kind of supplemental payments that would go to offset uncompensated care. What we're currently estimating is that the benefit to the safety net across the border region in South Texas would be $102 million per year. A tremendous outcome to help the communities really build upon the base that we started with the local provider participation fund. None of those funds, not $1, would require any investment from the traditional county budget. It would be totally funded by the local provider participation fund. For those of you who are not familiar with the local provider participation fund, it is a fund created by the hospitals in collaboration with the county. The only payers into the fund are the hospitals. Yes, sir. The mandatory payments, yes, sir. So there is no county funding from the traditional budget, which makes this a tremendous opportunity. Eddie got mad at me this morning because he thought I came here to ask for something, and I'm not. I'm actually here for the first time early to brief you on what we think can happen in the next 30 days. So there's some rush, but not a tremendous amount. The rest of the state is a little bit behind us. They're trying to replicate what we are doing, what we did with the LPPF, and they're trying to catch up with us on what we call this new supplemental payment, the managed care pass-throughs. We are working very closely with the governor's office and with the federal government as well. We've had to spend a lot of time in Washington to make sure that the Center for Medicare and Medicaid Services is on board with this. This was adopted in final rule May 6th. So that's why I'm just here now. We had no idea if this opportunity was going to present itself. But through the efforts of a lot of leadership from you all and from the other county commissioners and the senators and the legislative delegation, CMS did adopt that. And it's not just a Texas-specific issue. It's a national issue. There are communities all over the country trying to figure this out. And I think this region can be first if we can get it together. I don't want anybody to think that this has anything to do with the hospital district. It doesn't. Totally unrelated issue. This is solely the local provider participation fund, and we'd be working with the other South Texas border communities to make this happen. Hopefully by September is the goal, although we may have to work faster than that. We're not quite certain yet. But we'll know hopefully next week what our timeline is. We're waiting for the governor's office, and by the way, the governor's office has done a tremendous job of providing leadership on this issue. We're hopeful that we can get everybody moving in that right direction to execute on this. And if we can get the state to work with us and get them to where they need to be, it's all in the hands of CMS, the federal government at that point. But there's been tremendous leadership at the Health and Human Services Commission and at the governor's office, and certainly by Senator Hinojosa and the different folks that have helped put this concept together. So with that, I'm happy to answer any questions, or Eddie.
Sir, I think the main thing, this is a great opportunity for us here in South Texas. This is zero impact on taxpayers and through our county budget. It's an opportunity to be able to supplement some of the uncompensated care. The big task that Mr. Zaffarini has that's tremendous, we're looking at about 19 other counties that have to go along. So this is not an easy task he has. So just the sheer fact that he's trying to get South Texas region to be the first one to get involved with this program is a tremendous undertaking, and I thank him for coming forward and presenting to you all first and being able to explain to you all first.
Thank you, Carlos.
Thank you very much. Judge, thank you very much, sir, for allowing me to present. I'm actually going to meet with the university on some infant mortality reduction funding that we're looking at, and so that's the meeting I got. I got one more item, sir, if you please indulge me. It's under item 9C through person HR. I don't know if you would assist with that. And Mr. Ciredo's here. 9C.
Morning, Judge Commissioners. Eddie wanted me to present this item while he was still here. It's item 9C, I'm sorry. It reads Health Administration Health Clinics, and it's a lot of initials there. Fund 1233, account 1293. This is one requesting waiver of the budget amendment policy, personnel-related amendments, and we ask for this waiver because there are some general fund items.
Motion approved.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Item 2 is discussion, consideration, approval of the following personnel actions effective next full pay period. Judge Commissioner, the Health Department always trying to address emerging issues and grant considerations. We're asking for the deletion of 3 positions. These are vacant positions. Nobody is getting reduced in salary. Nobody's getting demoted. Nobody's getting an increase in salary. These are vacant positions. Slot 0045, we're going to delete that. Slot 0005, we're going to delete that. And 3 slots at the bottom, G007, G009, and G060. And we're going to, he's asking for creating slot 0056, Public Health Coordinator at $57,847. We're going to transfer an employee who's in a grant at no additional salary, just transferring into that position that is vacant. And we're creating slot 0151, Assistant Director of Clinical Services, which is needed more than the Assistant Director of Nurses. As far as the cost, it's a wash. The deletions will take care of the creations, so there's no additional cost to the budget. So I'm asking approval for those items, which are number 2.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Item number 3 is approval to waive the posting, hiring, and enrollment procedures and assign employee number 131504 to slot number 0056, Public Health Coordinator.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Item 4 is approval of the interdepartmental transfer.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
And item 5 is approval to revise the salary schedule in accordance with the action taken by Commissioners Court.
Move for approval.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Judge, I have 2 other items under, is it okay if
Thank you, Judge.
if I complete the personnel items?
Go ahead, Joe.
Okay, sir. Item 9A for Precinct 4, CRC. First, we're requesting waiver of the budget amendment policy for personnel-related items.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
And item 2 is discussion, consideration, approval of the following personnel actions effective next full pay period. Commissioner Palacios is asking that we delete slot 001, equipment operator 3, budgeted at $36,470, and create slot 003, clerk 4 at the CRZ at a salary of $31,252. There's a net savings in that, so we're requesting approval of that.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Item 3 is approval of the interdepartmental transfer.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
And item 4 is approval to revise the salary schedule in accordance with the action taken by the court.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Item B for the elections department. Again, we're requesting a waiver of the budget-related amendment policy for personnel-related items.
Motion approved. Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
All right, discussion, consideration, approval to extend the following temporary positions effective 7/1/2016 to 12/31/2016. These are, we're listing 10 temporary positions. Judge, normally we created these positions for 6 months. We have been creating them for 6 months, and we end up having to extend them in the middle of the year. We're going to extend them through the end of the year, and during the budget process, we're going to request the creation of 10 new temporary positions. So every year, we're going to create 10 temporary positions that will, for 12 months, and these positions are filled during elections. They're not always filled. They're not permanent positions. They get hired temporarily for the different elections that occur throughout the year. So we're just going to maintain them. But for now, we need to extend them because they will expire.
Motion approved. Second. Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Item 3 is approval to waive the posting, hiring, and enrollment procedures for temporary slots number T172, T173, T176, T177, T178, T179, T180, and T181, and keep the current temporary employees that are currently filling those positions as listed above.
Move for approval. Second. Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Item 4 is approval of the interdepartment transfer.
Move for approval. Second. Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
And item 5 is approval to revise the salary schedule in accordance with the action taken by the court.
Move for approval. Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Thank you, Judge Commissioners. That's all I had.
Thank you, sir. Let's move back to item number 5B.
Good morning, Judge Commissioners. Item 5B is an order ratifying amended and restated interlocal agreement as to McAllen Terrace Number 1. This is just some housekeeping that legal had recommended. Back when it was approved in April, I think there was an exhibit between the city and their developer that is now included here. I'll just defer to Steve, but it's pretty much ratifying what you've already agreed to. There's nothing significant here.
Which terrace is this?
This is regarding the Tres Lagos and the Texas A&M campus.
And Judge Commissioners, the agreement you previously signed does not change. The agreement that has changed is an agreement between the City of McAllen and developer, which the county is not a party to, and it's an exhibit to the agreement. So we're just trying to clean that up.
Move for approval.
Second. Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Thank you.
Item 6, Constable, Precinct 2.
Judge, Commissioners, good morning. Armando Campos for Constable Martin Cantu. Item 6A, A154807, discussion, consideration, and approval to appoint Jason Garcia as Reserve Deputy Constable by Martin Cantu, Constable of Precinct 2, in accordance with Texas Local Government Code Section 86.012.
Move for approval.
Second. Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Thank you, General.
Thanks. Item 7A, our Sheriff's Office.
Good morning, Judge, Commissioners.
Morning.
Captain Raul Cantu on behalf of our Hidalgo County Sheriff, Eddie Guerra. On item 7A1, approval of interlocal cooperation agreement for shooting range, use and training between the Hidalgo County Sheriff's Office and the Texas Department of Public Safety.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Item 8.2, authorization for county judge as the authorized official and county sheriff to sign 2 original documents.
Move for approval. Second. Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
And item 7B, approval to appropriate $5,000 from the unreserved fund balance in the sheriff's federal sharing, U.S. Department of Treasury, Fund 1228.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you, sir. Item 8A, our DA's office.
Morning, Commissioners, Judge.
Morning, ma'am.
Rosie Cantu, presenting for the DA's office. Item 8A, approval of 2016 appropriation of funds in the amount of $30,000 to fund operating expenses.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
We have
Item
another
10,
item.
our HIDA task force.
Thank you. 10A, approval of correction to the 2016 HIDA grant. We're asking to change the effective date on the salary redistribution that was approved on April the 26th. We're asking to change the effective date to April 18th, 2016.
Motion approved.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
10B, approval to amend the 2016 HIDA Task Force Chapter 59 fund budget in the amount of $178,185.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Number 2, approval to appropriate funds in the amount of $178,185 in the 2016 HIDA Task Force Chapter 59 fund budget, Fund 1251.
Move for approval.
Second.
Thank you.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, ma'am.
I think we're on 13, Judge.
Item 13, Urban County.
You've done it already.
No,
Yeah.
I haven't done 12.
We took action on
Oh,
it.
you took action?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Good morning, Judge Commissioners.
Good morning, Deanna.
We have a long agenda, and I really wish Steve would let me just go through them all at one time, but I know that's not going to happen. So let's go with the very first one. Urban County Program is requesting the authorization to advertise for construction and related activities for all projects identified in the 2016-2017 one-year action plan, including the subsequent amendments, Texas Department of Housing and Community Affairs contracts, Texas Department of Agriculture contracts, and Colonia-funded activities, as well as the Texas General Land Office projects.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item B is requesting the approval to reauthorize the Urban County Director to sign and execute loan agreements, rehabilitation contracts, promissory notes, release of liens on properties that have already met the established affordability periods, and the SHOTOS agreements as they relate to the housing program. Of course, this will only be after Commissioners Court has approved the contracts themselves.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item C is requesting approval to reauthorize the Urban County Director to sign and execute contracts and agreements after Hidalgo County Commissioners Court's approval as they relate to all Hidalgo County Urban County projects included in the annual consolidated plan.
Move for approval.
Second. Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item G is requesting approval to redesignate the Urban County Director as certifying officer designee for environmental review procedures for entities assuming HUD environmental responsibilities, which include CDBG, Home, ESG, Colonia, the Texas Department of Housing and Community Affairs, Texas Department of Agricultural, and the General Land Office programs, and any activities or projects that are provided to the Urban County program.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item E is requesting approval to reauthorize the Urban County Director to approve certain change orders on Urban County projects. This will be not exceeding $50,000, and this will be after Commissioners Court. If they are over $50,000, it would be for Commissioners Court approval, and anything below $50,000 would authorize the Urban County Director to sign.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item F is requesting authority to change the annual action plan approved by Commissioners Court on May 10, 2016, to include an additional $8,713. After we received the letter from HUD regarding the allocation that was to be provided for the CDBG, Home, and ESG programs, we received notice via email that the county had been awarded an additional $8,713 for the Home program, so we're requesting that you authorize me to change that so that I can make the change in our IDIS system.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item G is the Urban County Program is requesting an authorization to waive the CDBG redistribution and recapture policy for program year 2015. Before the motion, I'd like to explain that every year we are required to meet the 1.5 ratio for each community, precincts as well. Over the last several years, we have requested that the court provide us with a waiver because many times, even though we had the authority to take the money away from each of the cities because they did not comply with the requirements, we were normally asked to make sure that we continue to fund their projects. So in order to eliminate that, we wanted to make sure that we could get the waiver from you for me to continue working with these cities and making sure that the projects that were identified in the action plan are actually completed. So,
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
thank you. They'll be very happy to hear that. Item H, subject to compliance with House Bill 1295, when applicable, the Urban County Program on behalf of the City of Gran Genio is requesting approval of a best and final negotiated contract for professional service construction material testing services with Robert Kisner Consultants in the amount of $7,208.45. I know there was a concern on behalf of the auditors. I don't know if they still have that concern. Okay, so we're good.
Motion approved.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item I, request approval to decrease the 2014 home owner-occupied rehabilitation line item by $75,000.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item I-2 is also tied to 1, which is requesting your authority to increase the 2014 Community Housing Development SHODO program by the $75,000.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item J is requesting approval to increase the home SHODO program agreement between Hidalgo County Urban County Program and Proyecto Azteca by those $75,000 and approve the addendum right of exercise with Proyecto Azteca.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item K1, request an exemption from competitive bidding requirements under Texas Local Government Code 262.024A4 for professional engineering services.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item K2 is a presentation of the scoring grid for the purposes of ranking by Commissioners Court of 3 engineering firms from the county's approved pool as graded and evaluated by the City of Hidalgo, the Urban County Program, and the Hidalgo County Purchasing Department for an Hidalgo City Parks and Recreational activity. The 3 firms that were evaluated were Javier Hinojosa Engineering with a grade of 94.33, LNV Engineering with a grade of 92.67, and S&P Infrastructure Ltd. with a grade of 92.33. Would you like to rate them in that order?
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item 3 is authority to negotiate a professional engineering service contract with the number 1 ranked firm of Javier Hinojosa Engineering for this City of Hidalgo Parks and Recreational Facility Improvement Project.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item L is subject to compliance with House Bill 1295 when and if applicable. The Urban County Program on behalf of the City of San Juan is requesting consideration and action to award and enter into a construction contract with OMT Utilities in the amount of $193,600. Funding will be from the 2014 year under the activity water and sewer improvements.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item M is requesting exemption from competitive bidding requirements under Texas Local Government Code 262.024A4 for professional engineering services.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
M2 is a presentation of the scoring grid for the purposes of ranking by Commissioners Court of 3 engineering firms from the county's approved pool as graded and evaluated by the City of San Juan, the Urban County Program, and the Hidalgo County Purchasing Department for a San Juan street improvement projects. The 3 firms evaluated were Perez Consulting Engineers with a grade of 92, S&P Infrastructure with a grade of 89.67, and Javier Hinojosa Engineering with a grade of 88.67.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item M3 is authority to negotiate a professional engineering service contract with the number 1 ranked firm of Perez Consulting Engineers.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item N1, request an exemption from competitive bidding requirements under Texas Local Government Code 262.024A for professional engineering services, construction material geotechnical testing services.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
N2 is a presentation of the scoring grid for the purposes of ranking by Commissioners Court of the 3 construction materials geotechnical testing engineering firms as approved from the county's approved pool as graded and evaluated by the City of San Juan, the Urban County Program, and the Hidalgo Purchasing Department. The 3 firms that were evaluated for the San Juan Street Improvement Project were Millennium Engineering Group with a 91.33, PSI with a grade of 86.67, and Terracon with a grade of 85.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item N3 is authority to negotiate a professional engineering service contract for this testing services with the number 1 ranked firm of Millennium Engineers Group.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
And our final item is O, subject to compliance with House Bill 1295 when and if applicable. The Urban County Program, on behalf of the City of Granjeno, is requesting authority to purchase parks, recreational equipment, supplies through Hidalgo County's membership and participation with Byboard vendor Exerplay. It's a Byboard contract for 2313 and the amount of $183,622.65.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
I thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Item 14, our elections office.
Good morning, Judge. Good morning, Commissioners. Just an update that today is the last day of early voting for the 3 city runoffs that are taking place. That's La Villa, Elsa, and Hidalgo. Just wanting to invite the community from 7 to 7 today, so you need to take advantage of the early vote. If you do miss out, then remember that on Saturday, the 11th, is Election Day, and that will be your last day to cast your ballot, so inviting everyone. Just to update the commissioners and judge, we met with the cities and schools that will be having possible elections on November 8th. We met with them last week on June 2nd to talk about updates and deadlines that they have to meet. There are a possible 16 additional elections that may take place on November 8th, along with our federal, state, and county offices. So lots to get ready for, and we're already opening the lines of communication. Just for our community to know, the last day to order a general election, which is the same day as the last day to file for a place on the ballot for November, is Monday, August 22nd, and the last day to register to vote to be able to participate in November 8th election is October 11th. If anyone has any questions, I ask them to call our office now, 318-2570, to ask about their status in registration. Am I registered to vote? Am I not? Why haven't I received my certificate? The time to ask those questions is now. Does the court have any questions for me? Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Item 15, our Head Start program.
Good morning, Judge Commissioner Edmundo Garcia for Head Start. Item 15A, discussion and approval of program calendar for program year 2016-2017. This is our regular program calendar we update every year, and it's ready for your approval.
Move for approval.
Second. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Item B, discussion and approval of summer work schedule. Again, this is our summer yearly work schedule where some staffers are off for 2 different cycles, and it's updated every year also.
Move for approval.
Second. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Item C, discussion and approval of request to enter into a 36-month new copier lease agreement for 57 copiers through Hidalgo County membership participation in the State of Texas Department of Information Resources, DIR, award vendor Kyocera, document Resolution America Inc., DIR, contact DIR TSO 3092. These are copies for our centers.
Second. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Item D, presentation for discussion, consideration, and approval to enter into a memorandum of understanding between Hidalgo County Head Start program and the entities listed on the attached list. And these are mainly school districts throughout the county. We have different MOUs for special services, for training, and as you can see, the list is quite extensive. If you'd like me to read it, I'll be glad to read it.
Did you supply one for the record on the
I'm sorry?
agenda? Did you supply a list?
Yes,
already
it's
on
in the
agenda?
packet.
Move for approval.
Second. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Item E, discussion approval of the following 2016-2017 Hidalgo County Head Start plans. These are the program plans for all the areas of services for Head Start. They include child nutrition services, education services, family services, health services, human resources, mental health services, special services, transition services, and transportation services. These plans have been reviewed by various committees and also by the Policy Council.
Move for approval.
Second. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Item F, discussion and approval of the audit finding of corrective action plan for the child and adult care food program. We had our triannual audit There was 3 findings. We presented to them a plan of action. They've approved it, and this is here for your approval.
Move for approval.
Second. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Discussion and approval of relocation of funded enrollment slots. Throughout the year, we look at our community assessments and we determine where the most needs are. So this chart that we included in your packet doesn't change the number of families we serve. It doesn't change the centers. It just changes the slots within each center.
Move for approval.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Item H, discussion and approval to disburse lump sum summer paycheck to staff who resigned as of the last summer leave day, last work day for the position assigned. Again, this is our normal house cleaning, if you will. Some employees leave and they're entitled to this pay, so we ask them to approve it.
Move for approval.
Second. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Thank you, sir. Item 16, planning.
Good morning, Judge Commissioners. TJ Arredondo for the record. We have 2 items today. First item is preliminary approval with the variance request. It's Concha subdivision in Precinct 3. It's a 1-lot subdivision, and we're recommending approval for it.
That's nothing to do with Beto, right?
On the record, no, sir. It does not show
Okay.
Mr. Solis has
Second.
developed.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Item number 2 is a 71-lot subdivision, Eduardo's number 13 subdivision in Precinct 3 on Trosper and Mile 4. We're recommending approval as well.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Thank you.
Item 17, Precinct 2.
Good morning, Judge, Commissioners. Item 17A, appointment of member to the Hidalgo County Housing Authority.
I appoint Noel Reyes.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
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 Aye. Motion carries.
Thank you.
Item 19, budget.
Morning, Judge, Commissioner. Sergio Cruz, Department of Budget and Management. Item 19A is approval of certification of revenues as certified by the county auditor to fund capital lease expenditures for various departments.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Item 2 is approval of 2015 appropriation of revenues and expenditures to fund capital lease expenditures for various departments. These are all year-end entries that are being prepared by the auditor's office.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Item 1983 is approval of various 2015 intradepartmental transfers to fund capital lease expenditures for various departments.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Item 19B is discussion, consideration, and approval to submit the following FEMA subgrant application, Form 9091, related to the May-June DR 4223 event with authority for the county judge to sign the required documentations. It's for PW 019371, in total amount of $124,265.01.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Item 19C is approval and concurrence of the plans of proposed state highway improvements for FM 2220 from mile 5 to FM 1924. CSJ number is 209401038 with authorization for the county judge to sign the title sheets and for the plan sets for this project.
Move for approval. Second. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
And item 19D is requesting approval to process the eligibility tracking calculators LLC invoice number 4314 as a claim with authority for the county treasurer to issue payment after review, audit, and processing procedures are completed by the county auditor.
Second. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Good morning, Martha Salazar for the Purchasing Department. A little note to what Chief Saldana had already very adequately had stated, that the county does come together in times of any type of assistance, and we wanted to make note that the district attorney's office had a very large move to make from the courthouse to their renovated building here. And I do want to commend precincts 1, 2, 3, and 4, with precinct 1 committing men and trailers, precincts 2, 3, and 4 with actual personnel, men, facilities, did trailers and various assortments of dollies in helping us accomplish this task. They started at 6 in the morning on several days, and were able to finish up by mid-afternoon. So I do want to congratulate everyone for coming together and assisting. This also saved us money because a professional mover would have been very, very expensive for what had to be done. I also want to commend my staff because this last Friday, the fire marshal did relocate to a new facility. They found themselves in a position where they could not, they had to move out from their current, where they were being housed. And our staff just rolled up their sleeves in the purchasing department, the fixed asset division. Most of them went up there and assisted them in moving. So I do want to thank them and show that we do come together when needed in helping each other's, all departments. Going on to my agenda with the purchasing department on item 20A, this is acceptance and approval of an invoice, which should read $1,489.66, not the $2836.93, dated May 30th of 2014, from LNG Engineering Laboratory, Construction and Materials Testing, Geotechnical Engineering, through approved work authorization 5, which was approved by Commissioners Court on April the 18th of 2014 through contract number 2013-220 and evidenced by PO number 707-737 and compliant with the terms of the work authorization and the Hidalgo, with authority for the Hidalgo County Treasurer to issue payment and audited. I believe it's already been audited by the
But why did it take over 2 years to pay for it?
The auditor is also asking for an additional request. We have their request, which has become customary in some of the precincts, to send a written notice to proceed. That is not required by the work authorization. We don't see any evidence that that is required, because if you look at the work authorization, actually reads the county. It says that, and the evidence of that they're referring to is the work authorization. That is the written authorization to proceed, and in this case, even a PO, and in most instances. But the precincts have been sending individually from their offices a written notice to proceed in order to facilitate the payment, because that is an interpretation of the auditor's office. In this case, a phone call was made to tell them that everything was in place, work authorization approved by a court, PO approved by the court, was timely done. Ms. Linda this morning advised me that they would still like something in writing that it was done through a phone call. I believe that this action should give the authority to proceed to pay this invoice. It is 2 years old. As far as I'm concerned, I believe that certainly it is the option for them to send written notice, because it's a choice that the precincts have made, but it is not a requirement in the contract. And I think all the letter of the work authorization was met.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Item B, the Executive Office. This is pursuant to the executed Real Estate Broker Services Notice to Proceed document dated October 27, 2015 with CBRE Incorporated, which is our real estate broker, requesting approval to terminate an order inasmuch as it is not in the best interest of Hidalgo County to dispose of these two properties at this time, with authority to send the termination notice immediately.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Under C1 for Precinct 1, requesting exemption from competitive bidding requirements under Texas Local Government Code 262-024A4, a professional service.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Under C1B, presentation of the scoring grids for the purposes of ranking. The three firms that were graded and evaluated were Lefevre Engineering, 98, Quintanilla Headley and Associates, 91, Hinojosa Engineering, 86. Does the court wish to rank them in that order of the scores?
Second. Those in favor, say aye. 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 Motion carries.
Authority for the purchasing department to negotiate a professional contract commencing with the number one ranked firm of Lefevre for for professional engineering services for Mile 8 North, Mile 2 East, Mile 2.5 East, and Mile 4 North.
Move to approve.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item A, requesting exemption from competitive bidding requirements under Texas Local Government Code 262-024A4, a professional service.
Move to approve.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Presentation of scoring grid for the purposes of ranking by Commissioners Court the firms that were evaluated and scored. Those were Cortra Engineering at 91, International Consulting Engineering at 97, and Rio Delta Engineer at 90. Does the court wish to rank them in the order of their scores?
Move to approve.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Authority for the Purchasing Department to negotiate a professional contract commencing with the number one ranked firm of International Consulting Engineers, ICE, for professional engineering services for projects Mile 1.5 West, J. Flores, Engelman, Las Cumbres, and Mile 20 North.
Move to approve.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
On item 3, I'm asking for no action. We will place it on for next week. Item D2 for Precinct 2, exemption from competitive bidding requirements, Texas Local Government Code 262-024A4, a professional service.
Move to approve.
D1, right?
D1, yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Presentation of the scoring grid for the purposes of ranking of those firms scored and graded for the Yuma Avenue Road project. That was Hinojosa Engineering 97, Javier Hinojosa Engineering 95, and LNG at 98. Does the court wish to rank them in the order of their scores?
Motion approved.
Second. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item C is authority for the purchasing department to commence negotiations with the number one ranked firm of LNG Engineering for Yuma Avenue Road project.
Move to approve.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item 2, approval of work authorization 6 with an estimated cost of $198,379.69 as submitted by the project engineer, LNG Consulting Engineers, to provide plan specifications and estimates, also known as PS&E, and other design-related services for Precinct 2's Regional Linear Park project.
Move to approve.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item 3, approval of supplemental agreement for LNG Consulting Engineers, contract number 15097, resulting in an amendment to Exhibit B scope of services for Exhibit D fee proposal with an estimated cost decrease of $27,600 for services under Work Authorization 5 for Precinct 2's Yuma Avenue Road project.
Move to approve.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Going on to item 4, approval of supplemental agreement 1 for LNG Engineering, contract number 15046, resulting in an additional environmental services needed for the project with an estimated increase of $35,035.52 for the service under Work Authorization 4 for Precinct 2's Regional Linear Park project.
Move to approve.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Under Precinct 4, requesting exemption from competitive bidding requirements, 262-024A4, a professional service.
Move to approve.
Second.
Those in favor say aye. Aye, motion carries.
Presentation of the scoring grid for the purposes of ranking of those firms that were graded and evaluated: ERO at 98, GMS Architects 95, Negrete and Kohler Architects. This is for the design and construction of a new mechanical shop at Precinct 4. Do you wish to rank them in the order of their scores?
Motion approved.
Second. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item C, authority for the purchasing department to negotiate a professional AIA form of agreement for architectural services for the purpose of the design and construction of a new mechanical shop, commencing with the number one ranked firm of ERO Architects.
Move to approve.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item D is requesting exemption from competitive bidding requirements under Texas Local Government Code 262-024A4, a professional service.
Move to approve.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Presentation of the scoring grid for the purposes of ranking by Commissioners Court. That is in connection with the construction of materials testing for the job-specific mile 17.5 paving and drainage improvements. And those three firms were Terracon at 98, Trinity Solis Investigation Laboratories at 97, and Professional Service Industries at 95. Does the court wish to rank them in the order of their scores?
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Item F is authority for the purchasing department to negotiate a professional engineering services agreement for the project just mentioned with Terracon, commencing with the number 1 ranked firm.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
At this time with G, and I think as Mr. Osuna, will concur, no action is being requested. Item F1, this is presentation of the sole quote received for National Medical Service Incorporating, meeting all specifications and/or requirements for the purpose of award and approval of contract, but in no event to exceed the $50,000 bidding threshold for. This is for DNA testing laboratory services on an as-needed basis.
Move to approve.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Going to item G. This is a county-wide issue. This is recommendation by Ricardo Saldana and the county judge's office, and Ray Salazar from the Department of Budget and Management, the consideration to select a service provider. I'm not going to take action on A, but I want you to see that the same list of work is required for your option B. We have found out through HGAC that FEMA or federal funds, FEMA now requires that we at least score and grade the way the county has the protocol of 3 of their awarded vendors in selecting these services. And this is under emergency preparedness and disaster recovery services. Those 7 lists or tasks are what we are looking for in a provider. HGAC has now sent us the awarded vendors for under this designation, and Chief Saldana concurs with the 3. Well, let's go on to item B, which is something we could do in the past. That's why item A was on before we were notified through HGAC just late last week and on Friday. So item B is the nomination of at least 3 awarded firms from HGAC's list attached herein for the provision of emergency preparedness and disaster recovery services for the purpose of scoring and grading using the criteria that was developed by the county for debris removal services for the ranking by Commissioners Court to negotiate and finalize a contract for services detailed in item A herein and selection in the evaluation committee. Now, I have a request already with concurrence, and the list was attached to your agenda, and those 3 are going to be Tetra Tech, Thompson, and Ernst & Young. They are part of the list that is attached to the agenda, which shows the 30-odd awarded vendors for this service. Now, it further stipulates whether those vendors do solely this type of work or add services. We're picking only 3 from those that do just this type of work. So those are the 3, if the court concurs with the chief and Mr. Salazar, those are the 3 that would be then graded and evaluated.
So what's the recommendation from
Tetra Tech, Ernst & Young, and Thompson Consulting. Those are the 3.
That's my motion.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Now, as far as the evaluation committee, do you wish it to be the emergency management division, Mr. Salazar, and does the court wish to assign someone from?
They know it better than everybody.
Shall we have one more, or just those 2 will be fine with you?
Unless the county judge's office wants to be in there, since they're.
Judge, well, we actually were there with Rick.
Yeah.
So those 2.
Yeah,
Those 2.
Someone from your office, Judge, or just those 2?
That's fine. We'll include somebody from my office.
Okay. All right.
Judge Gordon, if I may, as as well as my office, is always with respect to a resource, not as a grade or anything, but just as a resource.
Somebody from
Yes.
office.
Yes, as being present for the process. Okay, we will do that.
Ms. Marty.
You need a motion for that?
Yes, please.
Committee, yes.
Those are the,
Second. Those in favor say aye. Aye. Motion carries.
yes, yes, I do. But I'm still on mine. Is this yours? Executive office is next?
So you have an addendum.
Okay, I'm going to then take up my addendum that I have on the agenda.
Judge, there's a posted addendum
There's a posted addendum.
for this meeting.
This is discussion and consideration, and I did send everyone information about this the day we did this. This is discussion, consideration, and action on the procurement method options for the engagement of a construction and/or project manager services provider in connection with the design and construction of the new Hidalgo County Courthouse facility.
Excuse me, Marty, what happened to 20 and 21?
That's the executive office. They will be after me.
You did what?
That's the executive office. He'll be on after me.
Oh, okay.
Yes, sir. Your addendum is to decide and finalize what the court had given me direction on. You had two options on the table. You wanted either to select or nominate from the current pool of construction management providers that we have, or the other option was to have our legal counsel develop and put out a project-specific RFQ for project management services. Now,
Marty, can I ask a question? So we have a pool for construction managers, but we don't have a pool for project management. They're
Correct.
they're separate issues.
they're separate.
Yeah.
So what Porter Hedges has done is they have developed a core list of services, which you have already been given, and in addition, I sent to you all yesterday the actual components of the RFQ itself. I have a couple of questions I'm going to be asking legal to clarify for me, but other than that, they took our template under construction management services for our pool and customized it for project management services.
They can take no action on all this?
I don't think we need to, I mean, we just got this, and there's a tremendous amount of changes. Everything in red.
What it was, the red is judging who customized it from a pool setting to an individual.
But he took out the red, and
Correct.
and he included everything in blue is what he's recommending, and there's a lot of recommendations.
Yes, sir. We went through it yesterday. Basically, everything remains the same, except I have 3 questions that I'm going to ask him, which I've already noted, and I will be sending him. But the most important document you received is also I think, which is Exhibit A, which would be the scope of services required. And it is lengthy, and it's very detailed.
Marty, I haven't had a chance to read it.
Okay.
I would ask
For the 14th? Do you want me to?
But I have a question, Marty. On if we were to pick 3 people from the pool, how would we do that? Could we do that today? Because last week we each chose 3 different people or 3
Correct.
different firms.
Well, yes,
Or 2
except
weeks ago, I'm sorry.
precinct 4 has not selected. Precinct 1, 2, and 3. Because the judge then intervened and asked, he wanted to see what his theory was, or his premise was, he wanted to see the core services that were going to be required. He wanted you all to think, can one of the construction management firms on the pool provide, do they have what it takes to do all the services that were developed?
Well, and I don't want to dispute that, but I think when we set the pool was specifically for construction management. So how do we select someone from a different pool when our
It won't be a
intent is
pool.
to-
Oh, he put out this is going to be a project-specific PM services. That's why he's extracted everything that has to do with the pool from our template. This is going to be a request for qualifications for a single award. Well, it would be, you would rank them to the ones that come in, but it would be for an eventual one,
Right. He lays out.
and it would be only for this project.
He discusses what we're going to be requiring of that particular company.
Correct. And that was provided to you.
And that's to build, project specific to build the courthouse. When we created the pool that is presently in place, we were not considering construction of a courthouse. I think it was just for any and all projects within the county.
That is correct.
So you didn't give us the opportunity to.
Yes.
And so how would you do it?
Well, right now, I have selections now from 3 precincts, but we suspended that until this was placed on Commissioner's Court because that's what the judge had requested. But 3, and I have the selections from 3 out of the 4 precincts. Think you didn't because that email came in from the judge who wanted to wait for the services to be received for the list of services. And so right now, I do have selections, and I do have a copy of the pool, but I do have the emails.
Can you read them again?
I will tell you who has selected so far, who has nominated.
Yeah.
I have under precinct 1, we have Project Control of Texas, we have Dannenbaum, and we have Half. From precinct 2, we have Dannenbaum, Broadus and Associates, and L&G. From precinct 3, we have Dannenbaum, L&G, Broadus and Associates. Those are the nominations so far. So that gives us about 5 firms so far.
So if we wanted to, could we move forward? But we didn't grade them.
No, you would just nominate them so we can send you the scoring sheets. That's what you would do today, to nominate
You would pick 3 or you would pick them again?
We
No,
could
you
pick,
pick 1, 2, 3, isn't it?
well, we have 5 so far. Precinct 4, though, has not nominated
Don't
any
you
firm.
think that what we first need to consider is whether or not what particular route we take? Whether we go the route of accepting the recommendations of the Payton Law Firm, where he is suggesting that we hire somebody, that we open it up.
That we put solicit a RFQ, request for qualification, for project management services
And
of
so,
the new court.
so take me through that process. What's going to happen? We're going to have videos, or people are going to come.
You're going to put out we're going to put out the advertising. We're going to put it on our website. You will have statements of qualifications submitted by a certain date. Thereafter, those would have to be graded and evaluated. And then you could decide, are we going to take the top 3 to have presentations, or are we just going to nominate the 3 and start negotiations?
Were you going to say something, Steve?
I'm just going to stress what the judge said before to make sure everybody understands is when we create the pool, we create that pool for the ordinary type of county projects that come through. And we from that pool, we do select a project manager. But in this case, many other counties and other legal entities, when you have a project of this size, do opt to go out for a project-specific type bid.
You'd open it up, in other words.
Open it up to everybody.
That doesn't mean that members of this pool cannot submit
They
a
can also
request for
submit, too.
qualification.
Well, the only problem I have is we hired an attorney who's guiding us, and his recommendation is to go out for project-specific. In no way are we saying the ones that have already been suggested not submit.
No, I think it's the nature of the project that is making his
Now,
recommendation.
the variable of time, if we go project-specific, what's the timetable?
If we accept let's say by next Commissioner's Court, the packet, which we just received it. We diligently tried to go through it yesterday, but it is big.
It's a lot.
So
Because he sent it Friday.
Pardon?
Because he sent it Friday.
Yes, sir.
Once again, he sent it at the last minute. So we're never going to be able to get this thing moving if he keeps sending it on the last possible day.
Well, I think
If it's not your fault, that's their fault.
No. I understand what you're saying, Commissioner, but he is asking for you to review and approve. So let us suppose next Tuesday's meeting, I just get authority to accept the RFQ packet, and we're ready. It's going to go that Saturday and another Saturday. And we'll probably give people maybe an extra week that we normally don't. So we'll probably be talking about July for the actual receipt submission date of the SOQs, which are the statements of qualifications, and thereafter bring them to court. Find out who's going to be the committee to review these, to grade them and score them. Now, I will stress to you in what was sent yesterday as part of the email with this packet, he's also making some notes for you to review, which Mr. Payton was suggesting. So I do think you all need to, if that's the route you're going to take, to no later than next week to accept this, if that's what you're going to do. Like I said, that doesn't preclude a member of the pool on submitting.
Correct. And I think it's important, and that'll give us an opportunity to evaluate other firms and look at their qualifications. Perhaps they have built more of these large-scale projects, and there'll be some interest in applying to help us construct this one.
And I agree with you that we should hold off, but we're not going to hire somebody to build it, Judge. We're hiring a project manager.
But he's supposed to understand and know what's involved in building it.
In project managing, in setting timelines.
No, I don't mean be a secretary. I'm talking about being a construction guy that'll be able to go and be able to tell us this contractor is doing a good job, this engineer is doing a good job or not. I think that we need to have someone with experience.
Oh, of course, but experience in project management. But we'll go through the process, and I think that you're going to see that the people that we have in the pool are the people that have, the expertise to do this. But we have time. We've come along this far.
I believe we can.
We have a lot of local firms that are knowledge. They know
They're huge. They're huge firms.
Yeah. Correct.
Dannenbaum, Half, and Broadus. They're huge firms. They do this, on a daily basis. But I think that we're going to go through the process. We're going to end up in the same place. And if we want to wait a month, we'll wait a month.
So I will, then no action on either one, and we place it on for next Tuesday for finalization of the specific.
And if we don't have Commissioners in court next week, we need to have a special meeting to get this taken care of, right? Yeah.
Correct. But I do encourage everyone.
Marty, I would recommend that once we solidify this, that you send it out to the different potential firms and see if they're even going to submit their names. Because what we've had is we've been submitting RFQs and people aren't even submitting.
They're not participating.
Right. And so we don't want to go through that process again. We did it in the civil. We started with 6 firms, 5 backed out.
Yeah.
We need to make sure that what we're asking is something that they can provide.
Within your, which I will send you, I'm going to send you the PDF to remove all the red that I did send you yesterday. So especially, I think, if you focus on the responsibilities, it is very detailed. But that's not to say, as you said, I want them to review that. Have they done it before? Yes, then they'll be encouraged to participate. But I will put it on for next week.
Steve, I've visited with our lawyer about the issue specifically, indemnity, and also talked about insurance. And he was suggesting that we consult with some insurance broker that is familiar with providing insurance for these kind of projects. That instead of having different insurance companies insure different individuals, different parties, the contractor have one, the engineer have one, the architects have one, etc., that we consider purchasing what he calls, I never heard of this, a wraparound policy. And then that every individual involved in the project that we hire be allotted a certain amount of percentage of the cost so that they can all share in the cost of one policy. That'll be easier and more practical for us to manage and be provided coverage for.
If you'd like, Judge, I can send the comments that you're talking about are in the email that I provided everyone with the, members of the court, of course, with the redlined procurement packet. And he brings out those, he says, we have a few comments, and he does discuss that. He also discusses that he will also, once you accept, if you review it and accept, he will develop the criteria to match.
And I skimmed through it, Marty, and it didn't seem like he was sending us something that they had already used before. He's kind of sending us suggestions. I mean, that's why we have him. Why are they going to send us suggestions? We hired the expert to provide us maybe something that he had used before in a similar sized project. But it said suggestions. So what are we going to do now? I'm a lawyer, but I'm not going to be able to review that.
Correct.
So what do we do?
Well, I have three. If you will, on page 3, he removes Davis-Bacon. And he does make the responsible party, the project manager, to making sure that wage rates are things. So I'm asking him, are you sure we can remove Davis-Bacon? My second comment was, there are services detailed, says, and my question back to him will be, does the project manager need to provide the City Council of Edinburgh and stakeholders reports on the project? I'm just asking. I mean, is that something we're going to be paying for so that they can go to the City Council? Page 18, deleted paragraphs specify how the firms are reviewed and evaluated and how scores are presented to Commissioner's Court with a grid. Will the firms be presented to Commissioner's Court? Will they be making? I'm just asking him things that I normally see in our template just to get clarification, and that's why he sent it. But like I say, if you have any comments as to what you see there, and I would actually ask you to focus on the scope of work. It is very detailed. And it seems to be very detailed.
Who are you talking to, us?
Yes.
Okay.
It seems to be very detailed as to the work you're requiring from this construction manager or, semantics project manager. So I think that you may find that you're correct, that the work, even though very specific, is something a local firm could do. Thus, they could participate. I don't think it's going to scare them off.
Judge, back to your question. In very large projects, the wraparound insurance policy is a better route to go.
How do we go about getting to that point? Trying to consider what insurance broker to get.
Steve, is that like a stop loss or what?
No, it's basically a project specific. I'm familiar with.
But everybody pitches in, the ones that are in charge.
Yeah, for example, you get one insurance policy covering all the providers of the services. Then each individual entity then picks up a percentage of the cost of that policy. So you've got one policy just focusing on that one project.
Well, but we're gonna have to. They're gonna have to agree on that. I mean, just because we nominate them doesn't mean that they're gonna be part of it.
Well, that would be
need more time.
That would be part of the SOQ that would advise them that this would be a wraparound.
Oh yes, that
policy.
will be part of what are the specific insurance requirements are going to be.
And so even though we've picked certain professionals, then they're going to have to agree that that professional is okay. I mean, I don't know. Like I said, I've never done this before, but I wouldn't see people be willing. They would be willing to do that. Steve?
A lot of commercial clients do that type of policy for a large project. And that way you're not dealing, if something bad happens, you're not dealing with separate insurance companies. You're dealing with
No, it makes perfect sense. I agree that it makes sense.
In his comment, the firm says they did not revise he's giving those recommendations on a wraparound or global type of policy because in their opinion, what we require in our pool, which is a $1 million, they're stating in their opinion it's inadequate.
And for this type of project it is.
$1 million is not enough.
Exactly.
Well, that's why they're recommending this type. And our pool just requires $1 million. Now, we could negotiate that it would require more, but...
What about their bond? I mean, people that are going to do the work.
This is really a separate issue from bonding.
No, I understand, but still, I mean, $1 million is not that much.
Well, that's what we have now. That's what we have now in our pool.
Not an $150 million project.
So what do you think would be About 10 million or so? Or what?
No, it's going to be a lot more than 10 million.
For the project manager?
People are not going to go
Well,
and buy
no,
it.
for a single policy that
Oh,
everybody
of
can
course.
share it.
Right.
She's talking about the project manager or construction manager pool.
Oh, the construction manager.
How many people are going to pitch in, más o menos?
He does not, I don't
It'll
know.
be the engineer,
Oh, you mean
the
the professionals?
architect.
Okay.
the construction manager, the different type of engineer, that geotech guy.
The civil, geotechnical,
Like 5 or
structural,
Yeah, it'll be 5 or 6.
Mechanical?
the mechanical, the HVAC. You have a lot of disciplines here.
I'd like to be able to hear from these guys that sell these insurance policies so that we can have the benefit of their experience when they're dealing with claims.
Can I ask whether you would prefer next week when we have this on, it looks like, I'm going to need some feedback. Okay, I'm giving you just what I came up with as my questions to them. Would you want them here?
I think it's important that they be here. I mean, none of us have been involved in construction of a project this high. It's important that we hear from people that have been.
Marty, and let me go back, and I haven't had any dialogue with the gentleman, but we're in the design development phase of construction documents. We're not in the construction just yet. We're looking at 18 months, 6 or 12, 18 months, whatever the variable of time is going to be. In that, we're hoping that this project manager works with the design architect, whoever is chosen, of which we haven't chosen just yet,
Correct.
to go down the plans and assure at the end of the day that when we go through it, that there was not any oversight, any value engineering
That was not
recommendations
authorized.
that can go
Right.
through that, so that we can realize the hard number of what we're actually looking at when we do go out for construction. So, well, my question to him is, okay, we're not in the construction phase. We're looking at more project management because there's a lot of variables when we went through the process that were still undiscovered. Shallow foundation, deep foundation, off-site utilities, and all these other variables. In his recommendation, and I'm trying to understand it because I haven't read every bit of it in the scope of service, that's what we're expecting. We're expecting the group, the professional group, and I do agree with the commission in the sense that there are professionals within our pool, but I just want to make sure that the scope of service is specific to that aspect in the design development as well as we get into the construction phase.
Definitely. I think that if you will be surprised, I mean, not surprised, but you will feel confident that his scope of services runs the gamut of the phases.
Okay.
And I think, Judge,
And I do agree with the judge on the policy, the issues pertaining to the
Correct.
insurance stuff.
And that were notes that were footnotes that they wanted to inject. So I think it would be good if they were here to finalize the document next
I
week.
think it's important that they be here.
who's going to be in charge of the wraparound? I mean,
But here at Commissioners Court or meeting with a couple of people?
How would you like to handle that?
It'll be, I mean,
say, okay, here, but
my opinion will be a circus if it's here. Can you imagine going through a legal document back and forth like that?
Correct.
Can't do that, Steve.
Are they going to want to do it?
So perhaps as Commissioner, one of you suggested, perhaps set up a either meeting with two of you or a workshop setting with you all.
Can you also ask them for something that's already been used in a different project, something that's already completed, so we can see a completed form as opposed to suggestions? They're the experts and they're giving us suggestions.
Okay. Well, I really think, Commissioner, that he has presented you. The red line is the draft.
Okay.
It's the draft. I can remove it. I gave it to you just the way it came in, but it can be PDF to where you see it as it would be.
Ask them if it's ready to be able to submit it.
Right. I think we have that version, and I can send that to you today. But I think you should meet with them in case there's any other issues you want finalized by them, including, which he said he has not included the criteria, because he wants to know, are you going to accept the draft?
So why couldn't he do this? If we had a court meeting Tuesday, why couldn't he make himself available for a Monday to sit down with each individual
We can try to
commissioner or judge
we can
to
try
go
to
through all the
coordinate that.
Q&A in anticipation of the meeting? So
like a workshop setting on Monday?
Or a workshop.
On Monday afternoon, so they can get in on Monday morning?
And stay over for the meeting on Tuesday.
The only problem here, Marty, is some of the insurance, some of the contractors say their insurance comes due in July and it's renewal again in July, what's going to happen in between? Are we going to have to get insurance for that particular project, or what's?
No, right now it would just be insurance for the project
It's just,
manager.
right now, it's just the professionals.
Yes,
It's not
he's going to
the
develop
contractor.
the insurance requirements as we go along for the next phases.
Yeah, because that project might last 2 or 3 years.
Oh,
before
yes.
it's finished.
No, that would be something that they would be, the project manager would be instrumental in, along with recommendations by legal. So,
That'll give us a benefit of being able to have some control over the type of policy that we're going to be requiring. So in the event something bad happens and we have to make a claim, we're not going to be facing, 5
Multiple
or 6
insurance
different
companies.
policies, and they're all different amounts, different language, different coverages. We'll have one basic policy that
Exclusions.
we can go after.
yeah, and it's different, every one of them will exclude something. So you want us to coordinate something maybe Monday afternoon to kind of hash out what the final, and then have the actual approval of the document.
If we could
for
have
Tuesday.
him appear on Monday afternoon for a couple of hours or whatever time, and stay over for the meeting on Tuesday morning.
It's
I
Tuesday
believe,
afternoon.
Maybe since Eddie and the judge are the ones really.
Oh, it's Tuesday
getting
morning,
into
that's
it,
correct. I'm sorry, I was thinking
I
tomorrow's
mean,
meeting.
Involved in the project, maybe they should be in charge, meet with them.
I'll meet with him. I have no problem with that, but.
What do you say?
I don't have a problem. I just think that they need to give us a recommendation. That's why we hired them. They're the expert. We're going to hire an expert, and we're going to go down the line.
Yeah.
And that's our responsibility, is just to hire the right people. I mean, this suggestion thing is. has
Let
to be
me,
about-
what I will do this afternoon is send you, pardon me, the draft without the red line. It'll be more compact. But in any case, you still need him here to kind of summarize that RFQ packet. And you have some questions
Is
for
everybody
that.
okay with a workshop on Monday afternoon?
What time Monday afternoon?
Can we send you an email to see what time they can be here?
Whatever's convenient for the court.
2 o'clock,
I can
3?
do it anytime, but whatever.
The earliest,
After 2:30.
early in the afternoon or Monday morning, because I got to go to a conference Monday.
All right. I'll see if they can come in Sunday and be here for Monday morning. We'll give you some options.
Commissioner Flores.
No,
says-
well, I can be here in the morning or in the afternoon.
Okay.
Okay. So you'd prefer morning?
Just so I can get out of town.
Yes. Okay. So no action on either item. Is that correct?
Right.
Okay. Believe it or not, that's all I have.
Thank you, Marty. Okay, Balde.
Thank you, Judge. Item 21A, we have consideration and action on a letter of commitment from the Commissioners Court to partner with Tropical Texas Behavioral Health. This is for the Assisted Outpatient Treatment Grant Program. And it is also with authority for the county judge to sign. This is to be submitted with the grant application to the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration. All appropriate paperwork has been filed. Everything is in order, Judge Commissioners.
Second. Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item B is requested permission by Sacred Health Catholic Church in Edinburgh to use the courthouse parking lot. This is for their annual fair to be held on October 8th of this year.
Everything in order?
Everything is in order.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Excuse me. Item C is approval to accept a settlement check from State Farm Insurance Company in the amount of $2,367.25. This will settle an auto accident with one of our county vehicles.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Judge Commissioners, I'm asking for no action on item D.
Sure hasn't gotten that done.
No, sir.
Okay.
All right, then, next item, 22, open forum. Anyone sign up?
Yes, sir, we do have 9 participants. Our first participant is Ms. Emma Alanis.
Ms. Alanis?
There is a 3-minute time limit. I will advise when there is 1 minute left. And I ask for everyone in the audience to please respect the speaker's time.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, ma'am.
Mr. Palacios, I want to give you thanks for all the attention you're giving us to the colonias. And I want to tell you, our colonia, the Korea States, I'm from Korean States, and my colonia is ready for the public light. Okay. And we all already signed the forms, and we drop off the signed forms at your office. So so I'm gonna ask you if please don't forget to add our colonia on your next budget, please.
We'll be there.
Thank you very much.
We have Ms. Eva García.
Buenos días, comisionados. Mi nombre es Eva García, soy de la colonia Curry Estates. Soy miembro y líder de la organización Lupe. Vengo hoy especialmente a invitar al comisionado José Palacios a nuestra Junta General que tenemos el 1 de julio a las 6:30 de la tarde, que nos acompañe a darnos un buen reporte del trabajo que ha hecho aquí en su precinto, y esperemos que pronto nos dé una buena respuesta y pueda asistir con nosotros en nuestra Junta. Gracias, comisionados, por su atención.
We need to translate that. Good morning. My name is Eva Garcia. I'm here from Curry Estates, and I'm just here to ask Commissioner Joseph Palacios, our commissioner, to join us in a general meeting on July the 1st at 6:30 in the afternoon, right there at Lupe headquarters, just so we can have a discussion on the great work that you've been doing in your precinct, and also so the community can get to know you a little bit more. We hope to get a response quick. Thank you so much.
Our next presenter is Amparo Martinez.
Buenos días, muy buenos días a todos. Mi nombre es Amparo Martínez.
Buenos días.
Soy miembro de la organización Lupe y estoy aquí para darle las gracias al comisionado Cantú. Muchas gracias por arreglarnos la calle César Chávez, que esa calle estaba bien deteriorada, y quiero darle las gracias porque esa calle se utiliza mucho para llegar a las oficinas de Lupe. Muchas gracias.
De nada.
Good morning. My name is Amparo Martinez. I'm from Curry Estates, and I'm here this morning just to thank Commissioner Cantú for taking care, together with the City of San Juan and the City of Alamo, Cesar Chavez Road. It was very deteriorated, and it's really been good to have it fixed. And a lot of people utilize this street to get to the office of Lupe. So thank you, Commissioner Cantú, for helping and taking care of this road.
Our next presenter is Saed García.
Sí, buenos días. Mi nombre es Saed García, soy miembro de la Unión del Pueblo Entero, pero esta vez vengo representando a mi hijo. Estoy aquí representando a mi hijo, que es un jovencito deshabilitado y que tiene muchas ganas de poder comunicarse. Él es ciudadano de los Estados Unidos y cuenta con un seguro médico. Sin embargo, no ha podido recibir una atención médica adecuada aquí en el Valle. Por lo mismo, yo he tenido que viajar a Houston, Dallas, Corpus Christi, y por último, me lo tenía que yo llevar a Omaha, Nebraska. En el 2009 se le hizo un implante coclear para poder oír y luego hablar. Quería yo decirles que tuvimos un accidente aquí en Edinburgh y por eso perdió su vista y quedó con cerebral palsy. En el 2009 se le hizo un implante de cóclea, sin embargo, no he podido, hasta este año, no pude encontrar aquí en el Valle un especialista y una terapista del habla, especialmente para las personas con implante de cóclea. Mi hijo tuvo que enseñarse en Austin a poder comunicarse un poco con señas, mas yo no he perdido las esperanzas que un día se contara con una terapia como la que mi hijo necesita. Si es aprobado el Distrito de Salud, mi hijo podrá recibir su terapia para oír y luego poder hablar. porque yo soy una persona informada que voy y visité la universidad, visité el Renaissance, he visitado muchos hospitales también. Y ahora como Community Health Educator, sé que existe una gran necesidad de una atención médica general y mental adecuada, que sea accesible para todos los que residen en este valle de Texas. Necesitamos gente que sea competente, más humana y que esté bien preparada. Si el Distrito de Salud es aprobado, mi hijo podrá recibir una atención médica integral. De esa manera, él no tendrá que salir del Valle de Texas, que es su hogar. Muchas gracias.
It's a long one, and I don't know if I can actually translate everything at one time. But my name is Saret Garcia. I'm a member of Lupe, but I'm here representing my son today. My son is a disabled child. He's been needing a lot of care past the checkpoint. I can say that a lot of different cities here we have to travel because there is no response for his needs, for medical needs here in the valley. I see the possibilities with the health district to bring these possibilities to the valley with a medical school. I had been informed, I had been visiting the medical school and the hospitals, and I've been talking to different people to inform myself about the possibilities that this medical school will bring to the valley. I see that there might be the possibility to create more specialties here where my child can get the care that he needs. So thank you so much, and this is a very brief of everything. I know that all of you understand that. Thank you.
All right, our next presenter is Lourdes Salinas.
Good morning, Commissioners. I am Lourdes Salinas. I'm an organizer with Proyecto Azteca, and I live in Indian Hills in Mercedes. First of all, I would like to thank you all for all the work you do, and especially to Commissioner Cuellar for always taking time to listen to the needs of the community. The people in Indian Hills believe in helping themselves make their community a better place to live, but there are times when we need additional help. And I'm here before you to ask you for no dumping fine signs to be put in Indian Hills East and West. Many of the community have asked those who are dumping trash to stop, but they have not listened. With hurricane season underway, this has become a public health and a safety concern. The discharge tires harbor mosquitoes, and the piles of trash attract rodents and other animals carrying disease. Additional trash blocks water from being drained, and this causes flooding, which brings more problems. We feel that post-notice of fines will help better illegal dumping. Thank you for your time.
Next presenter is Ms. Fern McClary.
I still wish that y'all would tell us and tell exactly how this public participation form actually works. So far, it looks like it could be used to throw in the trash. You've already voted on my question. Mine was on 20B. It talks about you're going to terminate a contract because it's not good for the county or whatever. But if you had a buyer and it had in there we were going to pay 6% for real estate, or how much did it cost us, the county, if y'all pulled the contract? Like I say, this paper is a joke. I don't know why you don't just take it off, because it's absolutely worthless. My other question on open forum today is that back in January 19th, 2016, 11A, under HR, you had an Environment Compliance Civil Service request a waiver of the budget amendment policy, personnel-related amendment, deleting a civil service liaison at $33,752, and you created an environmental compliance monitor 1 at $36,453. Did this position go out to the public so we could get qualified people? Also, is it true that 5 or 6 people tried for this position and only after several people going to Corpus to take a class that one or two people qualified. We see here that today you talk about presentation of scoring grid for the purpose of ranking by Commissioners Court of the firms graded and evaluated through county-approved pools. Did y'all have people here that were qualified that y'all are able to pull from? Or do we educate them or wait till someone can run and get a certificate somewhere to get this particular job? Talks about a bachelor's degree, public administration, nature science, 5 years of experience in public administration with emphasis on management and communications. What does that have to do with an environmental position is talking about? And the position y'all show that it would be $36,453 was actually $43,752.83. On the tape, it shows that it was unanimous, 4-0. I believe there are 5 up there, and it showed that there were 5 here. And we would like to know if this is a friend, family, or loved one. All right, like I say, with your participation form, you're supposed to answer me on that one. Or what is that form for? What's the difference between open forum and this form?
Thank you.
Anybody else?
Yes, sir. Our next presenter is Opal Billman.
Good morning. My name is Opal Billman. In the state of Texas, no one becomes the owner of land with payments for rent by building on the land or poaching it. The residential frontage of North John H. Sherry has been commercialized. Who is responsible for this? The land belongs to the estate of Joe Billman and me. We have owned it for many years. I want whoever built stores on our land to remove them and all trespassers off our property. That's the law. I have been held in police-enforced false imprisonment for 20 years by an injunction written into a court order concerning pending court action in a divorce process. In a divorce action, an injunction against one spouse assigns that spouse a disadvantage the other spouse does not have. An injunction is not an arbitrary decision. It is governed by law. Because the injunction is a disadvantage to one spouse, the injunction cannot be activated until the divorce is finalized. In this case, there was no divorce settlement and the divorce was not finalized. Joe died in 2003. Compliance to law would have ended this divorce case and my imprisonment. The injunction can never be legally activated. It is just being illegally enforced. The appraisal district taxes RV trailers if they are here January 1st. These trailers are personal property of customers of our park. They are not improvements to the park, and acreage of land is irrelevant. Our park's name should not be attached to these personal property tax notices. If the appraisal district or any park customer believe they are investing as shareholders in our community property, they are mistaken. Our community property is under the control of the 275th District Court. The issue before the court has never been about a fair divorce settlement and final divorce. That would have been simple. It has always been and still is about the takeover of our community property. Thousands of dollars worth of damage has been done to my house. Just a little coercion and extortion to get me off the place and out of the way. You know, get the house condemned and she'll have to leave. Promise people rewards to help them get something for free, and you'll be surprised at what they're willing to do. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mayor.
Pursuing the 5 minute.
Judge, we have 2 more presenters. Our next presenter is Mayor Yvette Cabrera from Granjeno. Mayor Yvette Cabrera. Oh, with Chief Saldana.
Okay, thank you.
Morning, Mayor.
Good morning. How's everyone doing today?
Awesome.
First of all, I'd like to take this opportunity to thank Commissioners Court, Judge. Thank you all very much in the wake of this recent devastation that we had in our city. As a city mayor for Granjeno, I want to take this opportunity and thank each and every one of you individually for going above and beyond and helping our community. Your quick response and helping us is without words, honestly. No matter, I've been in office for many years and I've attended many emergency management meetings, conferences, workshops, and nothing prepares you until you go through something like this. And I am very proud to say that I'm, to be here in Hidalgo County and have commissioners that, went above and beyond to help us out. Not only that, Chief Saldana was one, was there first and foremost from the very get-go. And we were there, help was there without stop. Commissioners, I want to take this opportunity also to personally thank Commissioner Joe Flores. Your staff went, like I said, it's without words. They're still there. They're still helping us out. And the community thanks everyone. As you all know, our community is based solely on single elderly people that did not have too much help. Us as a community, us as citizens helped each other out as much as we could, but heavy machinery came into place and just, came out and really assessed the area and really helped us out. And it is, I want to really, really thank each and every one of you all for the quick response and the help that we got. Thank you very much.
Thanks for being here.
Thank you, Mayor.
Adding to the mayor's notes real quick, this lady suffered damage to her own home. She stayed there with the community through the whole thing. She didn't stop her. She continued. She moved forward. Awesome job.
Thank you.
Judge, our last presenter is Ms. Virginia Townsend.
Good morning. I didn't sign up early because I really didn't think I was going to make it to the end of the meeting.
Well, you made it a long way. Let me take some time and congratulate Virginia and her family for the upcoming date of June the 9th. They're going to be celebrating, she and her husband are going to be celebrating 63 years of marriage.
Oh.
Congratulations.
Yeah. I guess if I could stay together with my wonderful husband for 63 years, I could sit through one of y'all's meetings. important. It gives you the wrong impression when I fill out a paper like this. Thank you very much for your time and for your service and for your tolerance.
Thank you, Ms. Townsend.
Thank you, Virginia.
All right, pursuant to 551 and 072, need a motion to proceed to executive session.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Ramón García, we want to thank Ramón García because he acted en este disaster pronto y luego
Dale rate, que pobre chico.
Ramón, you did very good, Ramón. I wanted to get up and say something about Cuellar también, porque todavía ahora andan los de Cuellar ahí ayudándolos.
No, well, Joseph's not here, Mingo. You don't have to bend yourself, Mingo. Come on.
Okay, Valdez, we're back in open session.
Thank you, Judge, Commissioners. Under open session, there's no action under real estate, no action under 20, I'm sorry, under 24. My apologies, 25. No action under 25A, real estate, no action under 25B, pending under potential litigation. 25C, claim of Roberto Martinez, Judge, Commissioners. I'd like settlement authority to make an offer in the amount of $512.48.
For approve.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye. Aye. Aye, motion carries.
Judge, Commissioners, there's no reason to go back into closed or open session. For the record, we are having Commissioners Court next week on the 14th, Judge, Commissioners. And I will work accordingly for our 21st agenda as well.
We were also talking about possible workshop on Monday.
Yes, for Monday, so we'll be working with Ms. Marty and Ms. Monica on the workshop.
All right.
Tomorrow we got to 1 o'clock.
Tomorrow at 1 o'clock, yes, sir, on the
Need a motion to adjourn?
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Thank you, gentlemen.
Amen.